All right guys, you know that I love the Aventon Abound cargo bike. This little beauty right here is the original Aventon Abound full-length cargo bike. I absolutely love this bike. I personally call this bike the truck, and I think it's probably the best way to get around town and get groceries, get things from the store, and not have to worry about ever running out of space. However, Aventon found the need to create something totally new off of the Abound style. And this is their brand new, just released Aventon Abound SR. This is a shorter model than the full length Aventon Abound over there. And this bad boy isn't just new, it's got a ton of tech upgrades. You guys are gonna wanna check this out because it's got security and features that no other brand has, and it's kind of blowing my mind. Not only that, the motor is kind of a special motor considering the size and the power that this bike delivers. You're gonna wanna stick around to find out what the differences are and how the new Abound SR actually rides. Okay, so some of the things really quick before we get out on our ride about the Aventon SR is that this is a shorter frame than the original model right over there. So if you're not wanting to have a full length cargo bike, but you're still wanting to have the capacity to be able to tote around upwards of 400 plus pounds, then the SR might be the model for you. Also, if you're in an area where you're afraid that your bike is going to get stolen, this bike has some really cool features that is not offered on any other bike that I've seen in the market. Now, the first thing you're going to notice on this bike before I even get on it is this awesome seat. This came with my particular setup. It's got a nice cushiony pad, and then it's got this little awesome handle right back here. So the rider doesn't have to worry about holding on to the other person on the bike. They can simply just hold on to this nice little handle, super sturdy. And then they put on these really nice mesh feet guards. So if you have little kids, you don't have to worry about their little feet getting in the spokes or on the disc brake on the other side. And these awesome folding pegs. Now, first things first, it might be a little bit hard to see. Whenever you power this on, I've got this set to have a password. And the reason being is that this has a special feature with a locking kickstand. I just simply did all minuses. You can hear that beeping noise. That beeping noise was the kickstand unlocking. And now I can actually take this for a ride. And while we're sitting here, you'll notice this is a brand new screen to Aventon. Aventon hasn't ever used this screen before. It's new to this particular model, and it's even got an extra port on the back here that could be used for something else in the future. So this looks like a really nice offering from Aventon. Not only that, look at this. It's got a USB-C plug. No more USB-A. You can charge your phone right here with a simple plug. Super nice feature. All right, it's got 3 pedal assists, Eco, Sport, and Turbo. Of course, we're gonna ride this in Turbo. Let's use this nice thumb throttle and get going. Super peppy. Love the pep on this. You're gonna be surprised at what this motor is that's on this bike. Okay, so we're out here on the Aventon Abound SR, and this cockpit is pretty unique and pretty awesome. It's got a stem that's fully adjustable and these awesome BMX bars. And let's get going. Now, these pedal assist levels are completely customizable in the app. We're gonna open up the app here in just a minute and actually increase this speed so we can go over 20 miles an hour. Nice thing is on this bike, unlike the original Abound, when I hit about 18, 19 miles an hour, I was ghost pedaling. I have plenty of pressure on the pedals in turbo mode at 19 miles an hour right now. All right, so this is the app, and you can get in here. I called it the Truck Mini because I called the original Abound the Truck. Now, the nice thing about this bike is that it can have firmware updates. So being that this is a brand new bike, it already looks like I might have some updates that I need to do. Right now, the max throttle is gonna be 20 miles an hour, which is pretty typical. Most bike brands limit their throttle to 20 miles an hour, even if the pedal assist allows you to go up higher than that. And even though I've got this set to 25, it looks like it's limiting me to 20, and I bet you that's just a simple software update. But this bike is super comfortable. I've become a really big fan of 20-inch wheels with 3-inch wide tires. While we're here, let's go ahead and let's test the brakes. 20 miles an hour, these are Tektro brakes, and go. Yes, Tektro brakes always do such a good job. Such a fun bike. Absolutely love these style of bikes. I'm finding the ergonomic grips to be super comfortable. These are pretty much a standard on most Aventon bikes. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and do the updates while I'm out here. Realized I forgot my helmet. I need to go back to the house. Luckily, I'm not very far. But yeah, I wanted to go over some of the specs while we're standing here waiting for this update to actually take place and happen. I'm hoping that this will be pretty quick. Here's an example of what it looks like. So right now it's just basically updating this, and then it'll go down to the BMS, the display, and the ECU. And if it has an update for it, it'll actually do the update. But let's talk about some of the cool features that are actually on this. Now there is a special processor sensor inside here that actually does a lot of locating and 4G tracking, and it also controls the alarm system on here. This is brand new from Aventon, and it has some really cool features. So if you lose this bike, you can track it down. When somebody tries to take this bike, it can alert you and let you know, and remotely from your phone, you can lock and unlock this kickstand. So this kickstand is electronically locked. And the nice part about it is that since this is a 2-foot kickstand, if somebody takes this bike, they cannot ride away with it with that kickstand down. And with the bike having to have the password or the app to unlock it, you can pretty much guarantee that if somebody gets the lock off of your, say you've got it locked to a bike rack, and they try to ride off with it, they can't get that kickstand up, it's not gonna happen. They're gonna have to figure something out to move this bike. So that is a super awesome feature that I wish all cargo style bikes would have. The other thing that you're gonna notice on this bike that's different than some other brands is that there's no key. This is the first e-bike that I have received from pretty much almost every major manufacturer that doesn't have a key, and you can't remove this battery with an Allen key. So the only way to remove this battery is to go into the menu system after you've unlocked the bike, and then select from the menu system the battery unlock feature. It automatically and electronically unlocks the battery, allows you to remove this battery, take it in, and charge it wherever you want. Also, another cool feature is whenever you're charging this, in the charging port right here, the charger actually has like a little kind of locking mechanism that you have to know how to unlock it to be able to pull the charging cable out. For me, it was a little tricky at first. So whenever you pick up one of these, you're gonna be like, how do I get this power cable out? All right, it looks like the updates have completed. So we're gonna go ahead and say okay to that. And we're gonna see if that actually made any difference on the bike. One of the things that I was really happy to see is that they added a suspension seat post. This is gonna give you just a little bit of travel to smooth out the ride, which is a great feature to have. Also on this, you do get an adjustable handlebar. You can easily adjust this down here to raise and lower the actual stem. So all depending on your rider height, you can set this up to work perfect for you. And then of course with the BMX bars, you can lean these forwards or bring them back, all how you want to have this set up. Now looking at the cockpit up here, you get these nice ergonomic grips, and then you get the typical Aventon thumb throttle. I love their thumb throttles. They're just nice looking thumb throttles, and they're really comfortable and easy to use. And of course the new screen that we already talked about gives you all the menu options that you would typically have on most bikes, plus that battery unlock feature. And then over here, you do get an 8-speed, which is really nice. An 8-speed Shimano shifter with a thumb shifter. Looks really, really clean. They did a great job of making this bike look really professional. And then coming up front here, you do get these nice Tektro brakes. Huge fan of Tektro brakes, as you guys know. Easy to service, easy to find pads for. And then down here, you do get 180 mil rotors, both front and back. So this thing has ample stopping power for what you're needing. And then of course, Aventon did put on their nice suspension. This is really similar to what we found on the Abound original. It's nice and smooth, perfect for city riding. And it also has the through axle down here, so you're getting a really strong axle. This bike has 0 speed wobble at top speed from what I can feel so far. And that's a huge improvement over the original Abound, because the original Abound, when you got it above about 20 miles an hour, you did get a little bit of speed wobble, so you wanted to keep both hands on the actual handlebars. With the Aventon SR, they've solved that problem, and that's another reason why I hope Aventon comes out with an Abound 2.0 to improve things just like they did on this SR. Now on the SR, you are going to get a little bit shorter rack back here, but it's still a huge bike rack on the back of this bike. Now you do get the typical light back here that Aventon supplies with turn signals on both sides and brake indicators. And these do light up whenever you do stop. So people behind you will know that you're getting ready to stop because this will light up, and it's also got a built-in reflector. The battery has bottle boss mounts built into it. So you can have a bottle or an accessory here. You also got bottle boss mounts right here, so you can mount other accessories. And then they have a hidden one right down here. You could put a whole bottle down in here, and they even gave you access to add the bottle like down through here. This is such a cool area. This is one thing about the Abound, is that they always have some unique storage option, and that's the same with the original Abound and this SR. So having 3 bottle boss mounts right on your frame is fantastic, along with mounts for a rack up front, and then additional mounts right down here for other accessories. All right, now that we got the update on, let's head back to the house. I gotta grab my helmet, and we're gonna see if that update made any changes. The update definitely made a difference in the pedal assist. It feels a lot more responsive. So yeah, whatever they did, this pedal assist feels much more responsive than what it did before the update. If you get an e-bike that has app capability like an Aventon bike, always try to be on the latest one, because they can do some pretty cool stuff whenever they have to do updates. They can really make your bike improve. Now I do have this set to go up to 25 miles an hour, but I am finding it difficult to get over 20 miles an hour. And it's not for lack of running out of pedaling, it just doesn't want to go there for some reason. Now, this bike has a very interesting motor in it. It's got a 36-volt motor. For a bike that's a cargo bike, that seems really small. I'm really surprised that it's not a 48-volt motor, but it's got 750 watts, and more importantly, it has 90 Newton meters of torque. All right, let's climb this hill, see how this does. The question is, will it keep it above 10 miles an hour? I think that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but I think the Aventon is up for it. Let's go. So I'm gonna start off with throttle. We're gonna get up as fast as we can to help this guy out. All right, we reached the max, 20 miles an hour. I'm just gonna give it everything. All right, we're going 23. We are climbing. Now we're at about a 12% grade right around here. It gets to be about 15, probably about right here. Up here where that driveway is, it's gonna be 19%. Now I'm pedaling pretty fast. I would imagine my cadence is upwards in the 90s. So 90 turns of the pedal per minute. And this thing is going. I have not switched gears. I am on the hardest gear. Let's put this under stress. Smooth shifting. Shimano does really well. Wow, this thing's got torque. That is for sure. I didn't see that go below 14 up that hill. That's impressive. A 36-volt motor pulling me up this hill. Wow, that's incredible. That outperformed many 48-volt motors. Okay, so we just climbed that hill. This thing really impressed me with the hill climbing capability. There's one thing I do want to show you guys whenever you go to get off this bike. If you're on the drive side, the kickstand will be really close to your rear derailleur. So just be really careful whenever you lower that kickstand with your foot that you're not pushing on the rear derailleur. And here's a good look of this rear derailleur. It's a Shimano Altus 8-speed rear derailleur. While we're down here, let's check this out. Look at this massive chain ring up here, double guarded, so you don't have to worry about it falling off. Plus you got this nice guard right here. This is really designed to be ridden in just absolutely normal clothes. You don't have to worry about your clothes or your pants getting caught in the chain or this chain popping off over rough conditions. Okay, just testing out the torque here with the throttle, it's impressive. I'm accelerating. You probably can't tell how much of a hill this is, but I would imagine this is probably a 5%, 5 to 7% grade hill, and the throttle pulls me right up it. So the torque on this bike definitely makes up for the lower speeds that you hit. All right, let's get this thing up to speed. Generally, Aventon cargo bikes aren't super stable, but I'm going 33, 34 miles an hour, 36, 37. A little bit of braking. Oh yeah, 38 miles an hour. Much improved, 39, wow. Much improved stabilization on the Abound SR. Aventon has really improved that aspect in the Abound models. All right, so there's my thoughts on the Aventon Abound SR. Such a cool little cargo bike. I really like the fact that they came out with two different versions. They now have the Abound and the Abound SR. So many features in this. It's just packed with all kinds of new tech that I suspect we're gonna see in a lot of other Aventon bikes in the future. And honestly, I really hope we do. I love the locking kickstand, the GPS tracking, and the ability to sync up and customize the ride tune inside the app. And not only that, be able to lock that battery without a key. That's a great feature. I've lost keys before on e-bikes, and whenever you don't have them, it kind of makes you panic a little bit that you're never going to be able to get that battery out. So not having to worry about a key is awesome. Also, getting rid of the speed wobble that we found on the original Bound whenever you got over 20 miles an hour is really nice. I got this thing upwards of 39 miles an hour going down that hill, and it felt really comfortable. Now, I wouldn't recommend going that fast typically, and I would typically not ever really ride that fast except for these testing purposes. So if you're wanting a small compact bike that you can tote around people, cargo, and all that stuff, and not take up a ton of room in your garage, apartment, or your home, you might want to check out the Aventon Abound SR. All right, guys, I'm going to put some links down below. If you use those links, it helps out this channel at no cost to you. So if you guys want to pick up any Aventon bike, not just the Abound or the Abound SR, maybe you want to pick up a mountain bike like their Aventon Ramblus, you can do that with those links down below. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave me a comment of what you think about these two bikes, especially the brand new SR model. And as always, get out there and ride your bike.